Hello and welcome back to UK Versus. Today we're taking a look at the Mordred Recollection Aurelian Regent collection box. This contains a magnetic deck box, which I'm struggling to get into at the minute, it seems. A pre-constructed 60 card Mordred deck with a 12 card material deck. Some Mordred exclusive Dragon Shield sleeves, a complimentary set of cards that give you a play set of all the cards in the pre-constructed decks, art dividers, 2 Radiant Origins First Edition booster packs, and a very cool custom Mordred damage counter. Immediately, look at that. That is gorgeous. Now, as a Pendragon, we're not really supposed to like Mordred, but Mordred is pretty cool in the game, I hear. A little bit of Arthurian jokes there. As is tradition, and by tradition I mean I'm doing it for the first time now, let's crack these Radiant Origin packs and see what we get. Fraser, Servant, Outpost, Patrol, Fast Cure, Parry, Remnants, Race, Triumphant March, Vanish from Sight, a Diamond Ribbon as our rare, generate up to 2 bolts of diamonds and put them into your memory, and then this ability costs 1 less for each suited object you control with different reserve cost. And then we get a Radiant Origins Guardian. Whenever a source you control would deal 4 damage, put a training counter on it, and then you can sacrifice it to level up your character if you have 5 or more training counters on Guardian. Lesser Boon of Osmodeus. You gain the Guardian. Class. Portly Raccoon, Kicker, Barrier, Courtesan, Shieldmate, Classic Opening, Siphoning Stab, 8 of Hearts, Exilio Start, Avatar of Gaia, Ally Link Preserve, the linked ally gains taunt, loses pride, Sinister Composure. Draw a card and put a preparation counter on your champion. Tristain, if you have agility, put 3 more preparation counters on your champion. Not bad cards. These are the 100 art Mordred sleeves. Mordred, arrogant and haughty. Mordred makes more enemies than allies. When he first set foot into Cambria, his sharp tongue and refusal to yield repelled many, but yet none could deny the ferocity of his work ethic or the brilliance of his blade. He climbed through Cambria's ranks with brute force, rising despite the scorn that followed his every step. However, there was one who could see past his exterior, Gildas. Some claim Mordred saved Gildas, but others would insist that Gildas who saved him. He abandoned his pursuit of godhood, leaving the Grand Archives Hall behind and remaining in Cambria for the sake of the woman who had seen him true. Now Mordred serves as fairy king, with Gildas as his side, his ambition tempered not by defeat but by love. And there's a little QR code to learn more about Mordred. Pretty cool. Let's take a look at his sleeves. I mean, you can see them on the side here. You can see on the side dual matte, which is really cool. I do love a dual matte because I don't like being able to sometimes see through the cards. Oh, and that is gorgeous sleeve. That is just beautiful sleeve. Got the backs of the dual matte, so you can't see through that at all. That is an absolute beautiful sleeve. Has to be expected with Dragon Shield. Good quality. Good tensile strength. Love that. Definitely going to be sleeving up a deck or 2 in with this. So this should be our 60 card deck, our 12 materials, and then the remainder of the playsets. Quick start guide, excellent. We get 2 art dividers. Oh, what? This is cool. Keyword pamphlet. So this is a cool little insert that they put in there that kind of give you all the keywords you're going to need when dealing with Mordred. Ephemerate. Cards with Ephemerate can be activated from the graveyard by paying the cost. Cards played become ephemeral on the effects deck. If an ephemeral attack card would leave an intent, banish it instead. So when an ephemerate card leaves the field, it gets banished. Cool. I've been wondering what that ability did for so long. We get some cool dividers to help separate your deck. Beautiful looking cards. So I assume this is the different levels of Mordred. We've got a cool health tracker as well as other ability tracker. I do love this little thing. I would love to see something like this with a bit more heft behind it, maybe some plastic resin, something that you can kind of really get your hands into. Flawless Spirit of Mordred. Divine Relic. For Spirit of Mordred can only level up into a Mordred champion. Draw 7 cards, then glimpse 4. Okay! I'm down to, at the start of my turn, secure what my next 4 draws are going to try and make sure my next 4 draws are going to be useful, as well as not go down a card for that. Yes, I'm limited to playing Mordred, but hey, that's what I want to do in this pre-con. So this is our 60 card deck and our 12 materialized deck. This is the remainder of the cards to fill up the playsets. So let's take a look at the material deck. So we saw the Flawless Spirit of Mordred. Then we have Mordred, Burnished Avenger, Flawless Spirit of Mordred lineage. On enter, look at the top card deck. If it's an attack card, you may banish it. If you do, you may activate that card this turn. Okay. Sure. Double draw seems absolutely fine. On enter. As long as Mordred has leveled up this turn, the first attack you activate this turn costs 2 less. Ooh. Inherited effect. That's really cool. As long as Mordred has leveled up this turn, the first... Does that count all the way down the line? It's got to count all the way down the line. Jumps from 15 to 20, 20 to 24. Mordred, Flawless Blade. Attacks in your graveyard have floating memory. Oh, what? I'm sorry, what? So I can just use attacks to pay... You can just use attacks to pay for materialization? Sure, cool. Mordred, Fated Luminary, Mordred lineage. Mordred can level up into champions of the same base level. Mordred can level up into champions of the same base level. When he does, draw 2 cards. Attacks in your graveyard have floating memory and ephemerate X, where X is the reserve cost. So not only can you spend your floating memory, not only can you banish cards to materialize things from the material deck, you can then also just pay cost to play them again and banish them. Sure. And then, okay, we got... Now this is what it meant, that it can level up again, and it can level up again, going from staying at 28 health. Mordred's lineage looks them. On enter, Mordred's next attack this turn gets +3. On enter, Mordred's next attack gets +3 damage, +3 attack, and on hit recover 3. Whenever you activate a Luxum Elemental D level Mordred. Okay, I see what this is doing now. So you go to Fated Luminary, you level up utilizing attacks in your graveyard, and then you level back up into Aurelian Agent, allowing you to draw 2 cards, and then your next attack is going to have 3 additional. And then your next attack is going to have 3 additional power, and on hit recover 3. And then if you play a Luxem attack, you de-level back down and you do it all again next turn. Oh, that's disgusting. Do we have Luxem? We don't have Luxem materialization, which is fair, but I bet we got some decent Luxem attacks. Oh my god, there's dungeon guides in this deck. I know that because I've been looking for them for so hard, and someone told me that they're in this box, part of why I bought this box. Class bonus on enter, draw a card, so if you're a warrior, it's a 1/1 for 1. Dummy trainer, not training dummy. Warrior device, banish dummy trainer. Draw a card into memory. Target opponent summons a training dummy token. Grove, Spire, Spell, Shroud. Mordred bonus as long as the opponent has influence 8 or more. This gains +4 damage. No, this gains +4 attack. A player's influence is their total number of cards in their hand and memory. Mordred, whenever a durability counter is removed from this, you may return a card from your memory to your hand. Woo! So you attack with this. You attack with this, and you just get to gain an additional resource. Nice. Safeguard Amulet. If your champion would take non-combat damage to prevent 4 of it, pretty standard in pre-constructed decks from what I've seen on my own. So seeking true sight, getting through stealth. Banish Ring, love Banish Ring. You banish it, and then until the end of the turn, players cannot attack unless they pay 2 additional for each attack. Can only be activated during your opponent's recollection step. Mirror Depth Blade on banish. Look at the top card of your deck. You may put it into your graveyard. Cool. So once it's run out of durability and would banish, you get to just put whenever this would be banished. You just get to essentially look at the top card deck and go, "Yeah, I don't want that." That is a nasty little combination play immediately of just being able to pop out, go, yeah. Whenever he levels up, draws 2 cards, and whenever you play a Luxem, with things like Dungeon Guide, which immediately allows you to level up, things like Dungeon Guide that immediately allow you to level up, you're going to be able to pop in again, and you can stack this. No. That is just absolutely nasty. I love it. I do absolutely love that each of these comes with an additional pack to help build up playsets, so you can edit the deck. You can immediately start messing about with the deck and making changes out of the gate. I would love to see some kind of sealed event or side event, maybe an Ascent, where you're just playing with these and you can just mess about with the deck based on the additional cards that you're given. I don't know if that's already a thing. If it isn't, it's something to look into. Dauntless Assault. Normal element, 3 cost. Exalted. Mordred bonus on attack. Wake up the attacker. God damn it. It's a hefty cost, but it's a 4 damage attack that just says, wakey wakey, do it again. And of course it gains floating or ephemerate, because why the hell would it not? Deflecting Edge, 1 cost normal element. This card costs 1 less to activate if you control a sword weapon, which we do in here. Prevent the next 3 combat damage that will be dealt to target this turn. Sure. Dungeon Guide. Now, when I was looking at deck building, people just said, you always need a Dungeon Guide. I was talking to Enrique, a friend in Sheffield, and he was hyped about Dungeon Guide. When I've been looking at decks, Dungeon Guide has kind of been on there. It's kind of a staple. And for Weaves of the Shore to print this in a pre-con deck that everyone can kind of get access to really shows that they understand what the players are playing. Dungeon Guide is a hard to come by card where the price kept rising up and rising up and rising up, and I've seen it on stores, I've seen it being sold on the Discords and the Facebook groups, and people were asking $15, $20, $25, and then people pointed out it's been reprinted in Mordred and the prices slowly started coming down, which is really cool. When you have meta staples like this, it's great to see that it's widely available and it's in a consistent way to get hold of it. It wasn't reprinted in Radiant Origins where people are going to have to go for the pull rates. It wasn't put behind any kind of exclusivity. It was put in the Mordred Recollection box with some very cool cards, and was like, if you want Dungeon Guides and you're already going to spend $60 getting them, why not spend $40, get 4, and then get a bunch of cards extra? Love that. Dungeon Guide is a normal element, free cost ally, one attack, 3 health, that says on enter, you may banish 2 random cards from your memory and level up your champion. Now, most of the time that would be pretty bad late game if you've already hit level 3, but for Mordred here, that says play a Luxem card, D-level, play Dungeon Guide, level back up, play it, and then get that on enter ability again. So your next attack, if the Luxem card you played wasn't an attack, will be getting +6 attack, and we'll give you recover 6. Dungeon Guide is still here. Gildas, Face 1 Monarch, Stealth, Vigor. Stealth means it cannot be targeted for attacks by anything that doesn't have True Sight, and Vigor means it wakes up at your end phase. I remember this, I'm learning. Free cost, 4 attack, 3 health, Mordred bonus, 2, reserve 2, and exhaust. Prevent the next 4 damage that will be dealt to target this turn as long as you control another fairy ally. This ability costs 2 less. So if you control another fairy ally, you just get to go, you don't get to do 4 damage. That's so cool. Immediate 4 in there. Inspiring Call, this card costs 2 less if your champion has attacked this turn. Allies you control gain +1 attack and draw a card into your memory on a free cost. Invigorating Slash, as long as your champion has leveled up this turn, Invigorating Slash gets +2, so it's a 4 damage attack for 2, because Mordred's entire thing is de-leveling, leveling back up. That's so nasty, especially with the Ephemerate. Oh my god. Oh, this is so... Ooh. See, the problem is I'm recording, so I need to go for the cards. The gears are turning. It's like, there's got to be some cool ways you can mess about with this. Oh, this looks so cool. Safeguard Power Gun. Sacrifice Safeguard Power Gun. Prevent the next 4 non-combat damage that we dealt to each unit you control. So it's about just keeping your team alive, keeping your units alive. Savage Slash, Floating Memory. You don't need to give it. It gets Floating Memory, but fine. And it's a 2 damage attack. That's pretty cool. Sudden Steel Efficiency. This card costs a level less to activate. Refers to your champion's level, so it essentially can become a free cost attack, dealing 5 damage with Ephemerate and Floating Memory, thanks to Mordred. Trickster of the Fey Realm. This, from the name alone, has me hyped. Free cost, 1 attack, 2 health unit, Stealth. Look at the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck, banish up to 2 of them, and put the rest back in on top in any order. On leave, return the banished cards to the top of the opponent's deck in any order. So I get to look at the top 5 cards of the deck, go, these are the 2 biggest threats, let's get rid of them. This is Stealth, so you need True Sight to deal with it, or some kind of AoE effect. And then I get to take the next 3 cards and go, I'm going to rank these in how threatening they are to me order. Love that so very much. Warrior of the Fey Realm, another stealth card. I can see why Mordred needs so much damage reduction, because none of his allies can be hit. Stealth, on enter, you may banish a sword attack card from your hand or memory. If you do, draw a card into your memory. As long as you control Warrior of the Fey Realm, you may activate the banished card on a later turn. Oh my... There is so much trickery in this deck. Why is that not the Trickster's ability? I guess because you can, if you hit a attack, do it. That's so cool. Let's take a look at the water cards that we've now got for Mordred. Dredging Streams, banish tag card from a graveyard. +2 level, +2 floating memory. Why not? Drenching Finish, on kill, target player puts the top 3 cards of their deck into their graveyard. That's got some cool synergies, especially if you can somehow get your Trickster banished. You can go, these 2 cards are, if they kill your Trickster, you go, these 2 cards will come back in. I don't want them to get access to them. Drenching Finish just says you don't get those cards again. Freezing Hall, deal 2 damage to target unit. That unit does not wake up during its... we've got freeze effects. We've got the ability to keep you locked down and go, your unit isn't waking up and I'm going to take advantage of that. Frostbind, negate the activation of a... Negate tag card activation unless the controller pays 2. Banish that card if the effect is negated. Oh, I love that. Frostsworn Paladin, intercept. If an ally is attacking your champion, intercept means that this ally can jump in the way. They can jump in the way to save Mordred. On enter, you may banish a card with floating memory from your graveyard. If you do, draw a card and put a buff counter on Frostsworn Paladin, so making it a 3/4. And then on top of that, because all your attacks are going to have floating memory when you get high up, late game, you're always going to have this, and you're going to get to draw an additional card. That's so nasty. Lake Reaving Chill. Item link or weapon link. Linked objects lose all abilities and cannot be used for an attack. What? So, if my opponent is looking to use some big item or big weapon to stop everything, I just go, yeah, no. Unless you can get rid of this Fantasia, you can't do anything with that item. That's cool. Regulus Blitz, Mordred bonus. It's a 4 attack. It's a 4 attack card. Banish a card with floating memory from your graveyard. Negate each card activation you don't control unless its controller pays 2. Mordred bonus, pay 2, discard a card from your hand. The next non-command attack you activate this turn does not rest its attacker as part of... What? Discard this card from your hand. The next non-command attack card you activate this turn does not rest its attacker as part of the cost. Okay, that's pretty cool. Snow Fairy, we're back with the stealth units. The fairies are not getting hit. A 1/2 for free on enter. Rest target ally you don't control. That ally does not wake up during its next controller's wake up phase as long as you control. It's a permanent lockdown, and unless they've got True Sight, they can't touch it. So you just get to turn off one of the biggest threats on the board. What? This is a Pantheon hero, and it's not even Mordred exclusive. I might need to make some edits to my Xander deck. Striking Tides. On hit, you may banish a card with floating memory from graveyard. If you do, wake up your champion. A free cost 4 attack. Nice. And then we have the 4. Then we have the 4 Luxem cards. Luminescent Slash. Mordred bonus. This attack costs 2 less to activate for each other attack you activate this turn. Mordred bonus. Luminous Slash gets +2 damage for each other attack you. Ooh. Okay. Okay. So you need a fairly big hand size, but if you can level up repeatedly, you can do it with Ephemerate. You can pay your cheap attacks. Oh, that could get... It's already base 6. It's already base 6. It costs 2 less for each other attack, so you can essentially, if you play 3 attacks, you can play this for free. because there's no limit as to how much it can be reduced. So if you pay 3 attacks, you've got a 0 reserve cost 12 damage attack. That's just nasty. What? I think I'm in love with Mordred. I do love my pole arm. I do love my pole arm wielding boys. It seems Jin and Mordred, they have such unique playstyles. How would I see? I went into this box completely blind, other than the dungeon guides. I didn't know what Mordred did. I didn't know what their abilities were. This is so cool and unique. The fact that you're kind of just bouncing this level, essentially level 3.5, to draw 2 cards, keep recovering, enter this stage of I'm going to make it as hard as I can for you to hit me kind of thing. I love that. That is so very cool. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna have to play Mordred. I might make some edits using the remainder of the cards that came in, because there's a couple of things I probably want more. Probably want some more Luxem cards, because there's only 3 in the actual pre-con deck, and I want to be kind of bouncing up and down as much as possible. This has got my brain working. It's great to see some very strong cards. It's great to see some control aspects as well as the attacks. I think this is an absolutely solid deck, and every deck I actually take a look and sit down and read, I find them so interesting. The Merlin one still confuses me to this day. This one, I immediately was just like, hit them, D-level, level back up, hit them again. Love it. I'm going to leave it there, guys. If you'd like to play some Grand Archive and help me get better at the game, feel free to reach out. I'm available on pretty much most Discords. UK versus on pretty much every social media, so do feel free to hit me up. I want to learn more about the game, and I would love to get some games in with people. I'm going to leave it there, and if you see me at an event, feel free to come say hello. I'm going to try and go to some Grand Archive events, because this is such a unique game. Bye.